Good afternoon and welcome to these Digital Times Daily. It's our third broadcast. It's a fantastic afternoon in London, so I'm sitting out in the garden. Sorry about the dark glasses, I know there have been comments before, but there we go. So, on we go. Our first story comes from The Guardian under the headline Press Gazette owner mills online-only future. And this is a story in reference to the UK's business-to-business magazine for journalists. It's always a sad day when journalists or a distinguished title is under threat, and magazines should always report the news rather than be part of it. But Wilmington Media is now looking at several options, that's the owner, and the one for Press Gazette is to be online only. Press Gazette was always competing against the Media Guardian for jobs, so it had little recruitment. It's won some very successful awards, but after several owners in the early noughties, it's really come across reality time. So what kind of site would it rely on if it had to rely just on its site? Well, actually it's pretty advanced for a business-to-business site, you know. It's got Twitter feeds for breaking headlines, it's got a blog, and it's even got good blog functionality. So in terms of, you know, where UK business-to-business magazines are, it's a lot better than most others. But the interesting point will be how it actually reports the story, and I don't mean the story about its own future, I mean the story about the digital revolution which is overtaking the media at the moment. Surely Press Gazette should be leading the debate on journalism in the digital age, but how will it do so when those who write the stories or the opinion pieces are so vulnerable to it themselves right now? And finally, just a little indulgence, I hope you'll allow me, and that's to mention one of my own postings, which was put in yesterday under employees of big corporations who blog, what are the rules? Can you hear the birds in the sky? And it concerns William Patey, who's the copyright lawyer for Google, who wrote his own personal blog with a clear disclaimer to people that it was a private rather than a professional one, that nobody followed that at all, and he was always reported as Google's copyright lawyer. He's now ended his blog because he can't bear it anymore. So our second blog that I referred to is Simon Owens of Blogasm, who at the same time reveals CNN's rules for its own employees for blogging, and I can tell you, if you had those rules, you wouldn't bother blogging. So watch out how this story develops, and it's been developing on the blogosphere this afternoon. I got some comments this afternoon. The reason is because no one has the answer to these rules, but every blogger, let alone every employee about to start a blog, should take stock. So more later. So have a good afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow for these Digital Times Daily, where we actually have a guest. We actually have a guest reporter who will be telling you his recommendations from the UK tomorrow. So have a good day everyone, and thank you very much.